I apologize. I'm smiling because it's autumn. It's an autumn service, but it's not autumn everywhere. I know, Joe, with you, it's like 88 degrees where you are. But let's just, for suspension of disbelief, let's just go on with the metaphor because I think it's important to um, to really address what this passage is saying in terms of different periods, different seasons. And so this reflection is titled A Series of Boxes. Um, and I'll get to the seasons and how that relates and everything. I used to like horror movies, or at least I enjoyed watching my friends' reactions, enough not to despise them entirely. But since the world was uprooted and we were thrust into a waiting period with polymorphia from The Shining playing on loop in everyone's head, I found horror movies a little more grating than fun or scary. Same with roller coasters, skiing. Basically, if you're raising my heart rate above baseline, you better have a good reason. The last few years have changed the way I look at thrills and adrenaline seeking. It's changed the way I look at a lot of things. It seems unfortunate that I seem to talk about our collective struggle these past few years every time I log into a yarn service. But it's October and I was asked to think of something spooky or scary. And this is the scariest thing I could think of. But more than that, the pandemic was sort of what brought us here. Dozens of us, sometimes over 100 of us, in these Zoom rooms every month. Because, at least for me, the only way I could share in the beloved community that we have was through this box. Well, not this box specifically. When I started coming to Yarn, it was through this box here. I was a college student, just evacuated from the dorm, writing social justice pieces and messages of hope on a blog I've long since lost the domain to. Then I found this group and met so many brilliant, incredible people that we shared this community through this box. Eventually, I felt safe enough to get a job at Quick Check, and so I started logging in. I started logging into, especially I remember Conline 2 from this box. It's a phone. It wasn't the same phone, but from that box, just in a corner in the break room with my um, company provided lunch and trying to log in and be a part of the worship services. My first desk job took me to Phoenix, Arizona, traveling across the country to work from home. And I used their box to join the worship team. Now, this box had a keyboard and a trackpad, so I can better contribute to just starting to learn the ropes in terms of helping to assist with worship services. Um, that box helped me to stream for over 6 hours on election night in 2020. We were prepared to support anyone who wanted to process the news because however it turned out. But that community showed and gave me all the support that I needed. Even though I didn't know it was quite a tough time. It seems like with these things, you don't know how bad it is till it's over. Almost 2 years have passed since then. I got my own box. I even got a second box so that I could screen share more easily. But gradually, saw people started to put their boxes down. They returned to their lives, and slowly, as I got a new job and life was returning, and funny enough, Um, as someone who graduated in 2020, I never got the full brunt of real world stuff until years after. And so I was having a hard time keeping up with yarn myself. And um, it does bring up yarn memories. Thank you, Kate. And it brings up memories for me because I'm looking at sort of my boxes and I'm realizing I've had 4 jobs and 5 boxes since I started coming to yarn, and it has been a rock, a consistent piece of um, my personal uh, sort of ministry in a sense, and learning and growing in this practice, spiritual practice, I should say, and that's really been a community that I value. And so now we're looking at a new season, one that's a little slower, maybe not as um, warm, maybe not as uh, intense. And we're learning to take our time and adjust. Um, and that can be a little scary sometimes, I can see. Um, when you see a community that was there and you suddenly, oh, we're not the same anymore. And that can be scary. But um, we're looking at autumn, and the question, where do we go from here? What does the young adult revival look like now? What comes after revival? Is it rehabilitation? Is it um, is it building community? Once you've rebuilt a community, now it needs to be maintained, or now it needs to be defined. And that's a process that I'm looking forward to. And I hope that I'm looking forward to being a part of that with you all, and having this community for everyone who needs it, because though it no longer is everyone required to get on a box in order to meet with people they care about, I believe that this should always be an option. Um, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like and defining that with you all. Thank you.